Today's exercise is not about NDC or NDC interests. It's about Ghana and how we push our democracy forward. And so we are beginning a debate which we hope other Ghanaians will contribute to in our common search for lasting solutions to the problems that have bedeviled our elections since the beginning of the Fourth Republic. Ladies and gentlemen, it is trite knowledge that all is not well about our elections in Ghana. Some of the problems began as far back as 1992. Some have got solutions along the way. And for each passing election from the 1992 elections, we thought we were making progress because each election represented an improvement on the previous elections until 2020 came. And you agree with me that 2020 elections has been one of the worst elections that we have had in the history of the Fourth Republic. We did our part as a political party to resolve some of the problems without success. And we made it known to the whole world that we are accepting to work with the outcomes of the court processes, not because we think there has been justice, but we think we have to save the democracy and live and improve upon what we have. So after the court processes, the NDC put together a very powerful team made up of my deputy, Honorable Lawyer Barbara Sewa Samoa, and then our Director of Elections, Honorable Elvis Afriye Ankra. Then we added a former MP, Honorable Lawyer Inusa Fuseni, another former MP, Honorable Lawyer Magnus Kofi Amoate, and then a third former MP, Honorable Lawyer Joseph Yelechere, and then we added Lawyer Amalba, Lawyer Babajama, Honorable Alex Egbefia, and then the committee was chaired by Nana Atudaze with assistance from Professor Kwamena Ahoy. So they approached the exercise by first analyzing or conducting a situational analysis, looking at what the situation is and to try and identify the problems. They did so and identified problems in about 8 key areas. And these areas had to do with the appointment of commissioners, the regulation of political parties, and then our IPAC system and the consensus building, and then election security, then campaigning and access to the media, then collation of resource, and then election security. Under election security, they identified problems with immediate post-ballot conflict resolution. There's a problem there. The lack of consolidated election security law. And then the need for the amendment of the laws that govern the prosecution of election-related offenses, and then the need for the establishment of special post-election adjudication courts with special processes and procedures which are different from our normal high court processes. And then they need to sanction the staff of the Election Commission when they go wrong. So out of this, they generated 34 proposals. And these proposals are intended to address the problems that they have identified. So everybody knows that scientifically, you can't begin solving a problem when you don't know the problem. Or when the problem doesn't exist. You don't solve it, because it's said that where it is not broken, it should not be fixed. And so we all are living in this country, and we know about controversies that have arisen about the mode of appointment of our commissioners. It is a problem that nobody can run away from. It happened in 1992 when President Rawlings appointed the first electoral commissioners. It happened during President Mahamad's time, where Charlotte Osei was appointed, and it is still happening during this time that we have Madame Jean Mensah appointed. So it tells you that there is a problem that needs to be resolved if our democracy is to move forward. And that is why this powerful committee have made a suggestion in that direction. We all also are witnesses to the fact that anytime we are approaching elections, political parties are not sure whether they will be allowed to participate or not. The only two that are always sure to participate are the NDC and the MPP. And so around the time of filing of nominations, controversies will emerge. Some parties will be disqualified from contesting, and then they may proceed to court and so on. And so we think that we cannot be having this thing over and over again. There must be a solution. And so the committee has also proposed a body that should be solving that problem. They will talk about it. It's about political party regulations, something. They will discuss the details to you, with you. And then the age-old problem of voter registration. It has always been an area of controversy. They've made a suggestion that will help us to resolve that problem and resolve it permanently. And we are looking at continuous voter registration and empowering Electoral Commission to be cleaning the existing register whilst new names are being added. And as for the Inter-Party Advisory Committee, it is only during the tenure of Madame Jean Mensah that we are beginning to have very serious difficulties. IPAC, as it existed, had helped us a lot up to 2016. But with the reconstituted Electoral Commission, we began having issues about IPAC and how, it operates. You remember that IPAC was commended in 2013 by the Supreme Court, and there were suggestions for us to enact laws to back IPAC. We made some effort. That effort still has not seen the light of the day, and we think that it is an area that we need to revisit. And then the whole area about campaigning. If you want to have free and fair elections, political parties must have equal access to the media. And we are happy that the New Patriotic Party, somewhere in the from 1992, I believe they went to court and there was a ruling that all political parties should have equal access to the state media so that they can campaign equally with all other parties. That rule has not been enforced properly, and the committee will be calling on us as Ghanaians to enforce the rulings of the court. We also looked at the whole area of collation of election results, and we realized that we had something introduced in the 2020 elections, that is regional collation. It was introduced against the, shall I say, against the tide, because the tide of opinion were towards the further decentralization of the collation process as close to the polling station as possible. Rather, the Electoral Commission chose to ignore the decentralization and rather came upwards to re-centralize by introducing regional collation centers. There is a strong opinion in our paper calling for the abolition of the regional collation centers and to institute something that will take us closer to the action point, that is the polling station. Now, the biggest area that attracted a lot of proposed amendments is the whole area of election security. Everybody knows how election security played out in the 2020 elections. First of all, it is our belief that elections degenerate into insecurity, or elections become violent when there is impunity. When impunity is allowed full range, then there will be election security challenges. And so first of all, we want to remove any doubt about the deployment of security during elections. As we sit here, there is no comprehensive and composite law about how election security ought to be organized. We think it is about time that we have a complete law dealing with election security. This law will state who plays what role in providing election security. So the duties of the police, the other security agencies, the Electoral Commission staff, political parties will be properly delineated in such a law. And so it makes the handling of security in the election theater very easily. And then we also think that there must be an amendment of the existing law that deals with the prosecution of electoral offenses. The current law stipulates that before you prosecute any electoral offense, you need the express permission of the Attorney General, who of course belongs to one party. And so because of that, when I slap you outside elections, I could be jailed. But when I slap you at a polling station, it is classified as electoral offense. And so the prosecutor, the policeman or whoever wants to prosecute will need the express permission of the Attorney General to prosecute. And it is tried knowledge that most of these things are committed by operatives of a ruling government or the winning party. And so once they get the victory, they are not quick to allow those who use force to give them the victory to be prosecuted. And so that is how come election problems never get prosecuted. And also, we think that we must have some system put in place, either by CI or by whatever, that will provide for immediate post-balloting, dispute resolution. We don't have it now. During Aforijan's time, he was doing it. But now we don't have it. So even if you are tabulating results and you get a different, sum, and then it emerges from the mouth of the presiding officer that you have won or you have lost, even if the figures don't support that story, they say go to court. So it leads to unnecessary litigation and so on. And we think that there must be, a procedure where some of these issues can be dealt with and resolved without necessarily going to court. And those that are intractable may end up in court. So there is a suggestion about that. And I think that these, in the main, are the areas around which the electoral reforms revolve. We also think that it is not political parties and their operatives that at times infringe the rules. The referee themselves also break the rules. There are cases where you are demanding something that is should be given to you as of right. He says, I am the EC person here. I won't give it to you. You can go to hell. Such offending officers must not only be punished, but must be seen to be punished, so that it sends signal to others that the laws are there for all of us and everybody must obey the rules.